Now that you have seen what a camera setup is, let us go ahead and see how to take an output of what you are creating in Blender. For that we have a process called rendering. Rendering is a process in which you can take the final output of the frame which is set by your camera, and whatever is visible within that frame would be rendered out in a file format which is suitable for you. Essentially, Blender can give you multiple outputs. It can be in the form of static frames or a sequence of static frames, like what we call it as image sequence. It can be just an audio file if you want to take output of that. It can be a video file, and it can be a combination file of audio and video. These are the multiple outputs which are possible for Blender to give you an output. But how to do that is the prime question. So, there is a properties panel on the right hand side where you will be able to get that particular output. This properties panel will give you lot of options, but right now we are going with very few of them. The most important is the icon which has the camera with a flash on it, which is written render there. So, if you click on that, whatever is there within the limits of the camera frame will get rendered to a static frame. When you click this render button, you can see that this particular image is now rendered into a format where you do not see the grid anymore, you do not see other icons anymore in that, and now this frame can be saved as a JPEG or a PNG, whatever option you have selected already. But by the way, this was the way of doing it using the mouse, because we clicked on a button. There is a more easy way of doing it just by doing a F12 button. So, pressing F12 on keyboard, you can render the static image. So, right now if you are in a scene, just press F12 on the keyboard and then you can get this particular image. At this point, if you are not happy with this output, you can press escape on the keyboard and it will go back to the 3D view. But if you are okay with this, then you can save this particular image. For the rendered image, you have two options. One, like standard option of keyboard, which is pressing F3. The moment you press F3, there is a pop-up which will have the entire file system in front of you, because Blender would like to ask you where do you want to save your file. This particular screen will have multiple windows, so do not get worried about these windows, they are pretty simple to understand. This is about the header window, the top thing is header, we have already seen it, but the window below that or the portion below that is about the location and the file name. This is the most important part where you have to be sure where you want to save your file. So, right now it will show as untitled.png. You can just overwrite on that by saying render.png, and then that will save as image. But just before doing that, be sure where this file is getting saved. As you can see on the top of the file name you have written, there is a complete path of that file. It right now says c://users/admin/documents. So, it is getting saved in this particular directory. If you are not happy with this address, on the left hand side you will have the entire system window which will show you all the drives present on your system. You can select the drive whatever you are comfortable with. For example, I click on D right now, and within D you can immediately see that the folder contents are showing various files and folders present on the computer. You can select the folder which you would like to, like Samir Blender is the folder. I select Samir Blender. Within that there are multiple images already present there, but I will just save this image as render.png, and on the extreme right hand side you will have this button called save as image. The moment you click that, this particular image has now been saved in the directory I have specified and in the file type that I have specified, that was .png. You can check it by going to the D drive of your computer and select the Samir Blender folder. Within that you will find this newly saved file called render.png, which is at the bottom. Okay. You have this file and you can just open it with the basic image viewing software, and this is that image. This image is now on your computer and is saved in the particular format. Because we had only the default cube in the scene, you have a render of that, and because it was colored grey, you have the rendering in terms of this grey shades. So that is how you can render. Now that you have set up the camera and also learned how to render the file, you have to do one most important thing any software teacher will tell you: how to save your files. Because unless and until you do that, you are not able to see what you have done in the past. If you do not save your file right now, then you will not be able to work on it later on. So how to save a file in Blender? Shortcut is the same. You can use Ctrl S to save this. However, if you want to use the mouse, you can go to File and in the drop down you can select Save. Once you click on that, the similar window will appear what you had seen while you are saving the rendered output. It has the same components, it has the header on top, it also has the location panel where you can specify the file name as well as the location can be seen there. On the left hand side you can see the directories and the disks which are present on your computer. Simply select the disk which you want to use for saving your blend file, and after that go to the respective directory. For example, right now I am going to D drive. On that I have something called Samir Blender. In that I would like to save this particular file. So I will just go there and type in my first file and leave it at that. By the way, the files which are saved in Blender, which has the information about the models, have a file extension called .blend. It is a short form of Blender. It is a slightly long short form as compared to other short forms, but just remember it is .blend. So wherever you have saved your model information or all the cameras and everything else, that will be saved in this file which is called .blend, and the outputs can be of various files what we already saw. Once you have selected the name what you want to do, just click on the rightmost button saying save Blender file. That will save this particular file. And now if you look at the topmost header of the file, you will see the name of the file along with the path. So you can see that we are in Blender right now, and D drive Samir Blender directory, the file is called my first file.blend. If you want to see it in the Windows or the Explorer of your computer, you can just go to the Explorer in that particular directory and you will see your my first file.blend here. You can double click it next time whenever you want to open it, and it will open Blender from the particular position you had left last time. So that is all about it. I think you have understood about how to save files and how to render static images out of this. In subsequent lectures we are also going to teach you how to render videos about it. So I think that will come later. For right now, thank you very much and watch the next video.